Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen.
Okay, so somebody says, today is my kid's ABA evaluations and I'm so excited but nervous. Age 3.5. We've been on a waiting list for almost 2 years. I'm sending you a hug, but thank you for slogging it out and keep it going. I'm not experienced in ABA. What is your thoughts for my son 5? So ages 3 through 5. So I think he's 5 now. They've been waiting for 2 years. My son is 5. Verbal functions well. What are your thoughts for my son? Verbal functions well in the right environment and supports. 2 days ABA, 3 days remote learning through public school, ? I fear remote learning is not going to do anything for social development. Okay.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yes.
So if it was me, and I can't tell our viewers to forget about distance learning. I can just tell you what I would do. If it was my child, I would do every single day ABA. Every single day, I would do ABA all of his waking hours. Because ABA is, like I said, it's a language. Think of it as a language. And, I always, when a child is young, when they're 3 or 3.5 or even 4, you have the luxury of selecting the things you want to teach them. So you have language, which is very important, and you have adaptive self-help skills, which are important, and you have social skills, play. All of these things are super important, right? And so you can focus on the things that are important for the child, and you can focus on teaching the child that the challenging behaviors that have been developed are not appropriate, and you can replace them with all these functional adaptive behaviors. When the child starts to become 5, 6, 7, now we have an added pressure, which is academic skills. And we then have to worry about how am I going to fit in also teaching him letters and numbers and counting and adding and reading and all this other stuff, right? And history and whatever else, like everything that comes with school. So your time then starts to be not enough. And so what I would do, if it was my child, I would prioritize and say, what are the actual core skills that are more important to the functioning of my child, assuming that I can choose. And if I could choose, I would always choose to teach my child language before math. It's just that simple. I would always choose to teach my child how to communicate their needs, how to socialize perhaps before they could, do algebra. So however, maybe it's really important for my child to learn how to read. So there's different areas of academics and real life, and you kind of have to take the lessons, we call them prerequisites, take the lessons or the areas that are the most important and select those and work on those first. Now, with a child who's between 3 and 5, you're still younger, you're still at that age where intensive ABA works and you can get funding for it. So I would really, really try to push as much intensive ABA as possible and do very little distance learning, very little educational stuff. In fact, there are countries in the world where school doesn't even start till 7. So, take a year or two, doesn't matter if he's a little bit older in first grade. It's important that he has language skills and attention and the ability to socialize and communicate with his peers. It's with everyone in the world. That's very, very important. So I would really focus on doing that. And also, let me tell you, I would do face-to-face ABA. I know it's very scary right now with COVID, And unless there's a scenario where you are, you have someone who has immunodeficiency in the home, or your child is ill in some other way, I would really try to do face-to-face. There's much more value to face-to-face therapy, ABA therapy, than there is to telehealth.
Okay. And so amazing. And, we keep saying on the show that this has been devastating in so many different ways, but in some areas, it's buying people time to do things that they couldn't otherwise do. With your child being 5 at this point in time and school being what it is this year, I think you're going to get a lot less guff from the school district if you want to focus on ABA. It's like it bought you a year. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. You'll never be sorry.
And can I also just add one other thing? A lot of parents are often worried because they think that if they do a lot of ABA, they're taking away from the child's social life or the child's ability to just relax. And I want to just tell you not to worry about that, because first of all, ABA becomes a very positive social experience for your child. Like, they establish a really positive relationship with all the folks around them, including you. It will improve your relationship with your child as well. And they become friends with the therapist and with other kids and so on. So I wouldn't worry about that aspect. And when we talk about kids like, oh, my child needs time to just do nothing and to just watch TV, again, I would really suggest that you take every moment of your child's awake hours and use them in some beneficial way, because it's only for a few years. And think of kids who learn, let's say, to play the violin, or to speak 4 languages or whatever. They don't have a lot of free time. They constantly are doing other things, and think of ABA as intensive tutoring to catch them up to very, very vital and important skills.
There you go.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.